What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another video of Marble Contest of Champions. In today's video, I'm gonna feature you the new map 7, the mini boss and the boss, and some I think it's a new modifier that we have. I'm gonna show you guys today. So let's get to the video right away, because it's a little bit of a lengthy video. So in the first section of map 7, I take stop, can't stop, won't stop, which basically means that you cannot do any damage unless you are unblockable. I mean, you can do damage, but it's 90% reduced when you're not unblockable. So with Magneto in play, he's actually the best option right now for can't stop, won't stop, because he goes unstoppable from his heavy. So all you have to do is just heavy the guy to. That's it. That's pretty much it. Land your heavies, make sure you do it. Now for this fight, Ultron right here, you gotta be careful because he does have limber. Now back in the day, Ultron was a bad matchup for Magneto, because he will heal him from the energy hits. But now when he's magnetized, that is shut down, and he just becomes a normal fight, and he just hits incredibly hard. Not only that, but the map 7 is actually what do you call it, is rewarding players when they bring mutants into the map. So Magneto right here gets extra attack for just being a mutant. So the fight is over. I don't have to worry about limber, but you have to remember I'm running suicide, so my damage is increased by 60%. So if you're not running suicides, you might want to take it easy with the parries. So I advise you to work up to a special 3 and just hold, charge your heavy and then land a special 3, and you should be good. But now here we have this Sentinel physical resistance. I believe it's about 80% physical resistance. I'm not sure because Corvus is hitting pretty hard for physical resistance right here. And then you got the global. I think it's Coward by Powered or something like that, or Powered by Coward. So it's a new modifier that was introduced to the game, to the map, where the higher you combo, the less damage you will be doing unless you land a special 3, and that will reset, which can be problematic if because depending on your champion, it could take you a lot to work up to a special 3. But luckily here we got Corvus, doesn't take that many hits to take him down. And then this is the fight where can't stop, won't stop, that I'm literally scared of. This is the fight that usually chips me most of the time or gets me killed most of the time, because for the most part baiting the L1 is very risky for me, because I don't know when he lets go, and I'm not ready most of the time. I know most of you can do it, I'm just a noob, so at this point I'm trying to bail the L1, but I'm like, ooh, 13%, I can take him out for another heavy, and it's just 4%. So right now I'm like, please don't throw in the L2, and luckily he didn't. Dashed me, I parry him, and he's game over. So now I'm looking very good, very healthy, and I go into the next fight, which I'm gonna take on this Rhino. This Rhino is not part of my lane, but you know what? Neither was Sentinel, but you know what? I needed this the charge for the tech charge, and you know what? Let me take this fight. I have a rank 3 Corvus, and I could afford to get hit a few times, because the trickiest part of this fight is Rhino to go unblockable and unstoppable. So yeah, as you can see right here, it's gonna go unblockable. I take a few hits to the face, but all you have to do is take him to over to 1 bar of power, and just work with that. Just bait the L1, push him over 1 bar of power again, and just do that over and over, and he is done that quick. I'm back to 84% of health. looking good. And now we got 2 more fights. We got this Yondu and She-Hulk for Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And same thing, you know, let's start the fight. I don't parry because you can't parry. I'm not sure if he's medium or light, but basically you can parry him when he's dashing at you. That's why you see me like getting a distance, and when you get the distance dashing at you, then that's the one you can parry. And then you just use that. I was baiting on one, hitting once, get a distance, and then dashes at you, you'll parry. And same thing, hitting once, get a distance, and then parry. And I failed to parry there. Yeah, so you know, this fight is not hard as long as you know what you're doing. You have to take in mind the other global, which is Counter Strike. If you dex 10 times, the opponent will go unblockable for either 6 seconds or 8 seconds. I'm not sure because most of the time I don't trigger it, but this time that's gonna come into play because there's some fights that take a little bit more time than usual. So She-Hulk right here, same thing, same old boring tactic. Charge a heavy, but it's just the only way, you know, to deal damage. Because if you see, let me see if I can get to hit her once. No, I'm not gonna do normal hits. But I think you only do 10% of damage when you're not unstoppable. So unless you're trying to build to a special 3, then you do normal hits. But other than that, just heavies. So the first section is done, so that means I don't need Magneto for the rest of the map. So that's one of the things about map 7. For most of the time, you bring a champion for each section. If you're lucky, you can use several champions for the same for section 1, 2, and 3. But for my paths, I bring one champion for each section. I get to use Corvus in the first section, but those are usually not my fights. But let's get to Magneto right here. So Magneto has Polka Dot Power and Flux Dispersal. So what is Polka Dot? You cannot gain any power unless you have a debuff on Magneto. And what is Flux Dispersal? So basically every time you hit him, your attack value is going to decrease by 5%. And by the time you do 20 hits, it's going to be 100%. And you're gonna be hearing for 0. So you gotta do heavies to reset that. And not only that, you got the global power to cower that you know, as your meter goes up, the opponent power is gonna increase by 0.05%, so 0.5%, and your damage is gonna decrease by 0.5%. It's not a lot, but if you have a long fight, it could add up, and the only way to reset that is with an L3. But as you can see, Magneto is not giving me any power because I cannot put any debuffs on him in order to gain power. So we're gonna have to do the normal fight with just heavies and normal hits. Now the problem here is I cannot do heavies because the block damage is just gonna kill me. That alone. So I gotta do 5-hit combos and then get heavies, reset the Flux Dispersal, and then go back in and do some damage. I also have to be careful about the Counter Strike because after 10 dexes, he's gonna go unblockable, and you're gonna see that happening soon. So yeah, this fight is going very slow, and with 3 minutes on the clock, this is a for sure timeout, and I'm gonna lose half of my health. So this is not the best counter. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what is this Magneto all about, and kind of talk about what are the best options. Like, what is your battle group using? What are the best counters so far? So what we talked about the group so far, we have, in my opinion, I think Captain Beardo would do a good job depending with the synergy. So if you put a debuff on Magneto, then you can gain power, and he has good block proficiency. Second, Sunspot. Sunspot, it will be a valuable asset against this champion, because not only are you gonna place a debuff on Magneto, but every time that the first block is gonna be 100% block, and it's gonna be a perfect block. So it's gonna help you against the damage that Magneto does. And then you work up to L2, and you're gonna be firing a beefy L2. Some of my alliance mates say that Nick Fury works even with Cliff's disadvantage. So like I said, we're working on some sort of answer for this guy. This is day 1. So actually this is day 2. Yesterday I forgot to record the first part. Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out. I'm doing this fight just to show you guys, but Magneto against Magneto is not the best time right here, because as you can see, I cannot gain any power, and yeah, timeout. There's a big old timeout. I was able to do a fair chunk right there. My lines went in and took him out. Then the second section comes in, where I show off my rank 3 Omega Red, and yeah, so I take this path of physical resistance. It's 80% physical resistance, so you're gonna be doing 80% less damage against these champions. So you need a damage over time champion such as Omega Red. Namor is also good against this, because you can, if you're running suicides, you can reverse the damage you're taking. Boyd is also a good option, but against Korg you could have a very difficult time. So Omega Red, in my opinion, is the best option right here. So yeah, I'm having a little bit of a sloppy fight right here. I'm having a hard time putting the spores on him, and I'm gonna get hit on the face with an unblockable L1. I'm not familiar how to evade the L1, but I got 10 spores on him. I'm going to land an L3 and try to get some healing back. I should have done a heavy before doing it, because that would lock the spores. But we're gonna go in, and I think I'm gonna heal back to like 87. It's just a decent amount, because I was taking a bunch of block hits right here. But as you can see, the spores is what are doing the most of the damage. I get clip at the end, but he's down. Gotta mention this too, that the map rewards mutants. In this map, you get like a bonus 200%. I'm not sure if it's attack value or something like that, but yeah, mutants are very powerful on this map 7. So as you can see, the spores are doing work, and there's only 10 of them, and I don't have the death field on, so yeah, 13 hits in, and then he's already down to 30 percent. And for some reason here, I let go of my block and I get hit on the face. Yeah. Oh man, such a horrible fight to show off my rank 3 Omega Red. But that is pretty much the last fight I'm gonna use Omega Red for, because the rest of the map is going to be Corvus. So this 80% physical resistance doesn't matter for Corvus. So right here, I was trying to wait for the timer of 7 seconds, I believe, so he can evade one of my hits. But right here I go for a combo. He does not evade. Try to go again. He does not evade. He's already down to 10%. Just finished the fight. So I don't get no charges, because I already had the tech charge. And right here, for some reason, my editing skills fail me, and I put the end of the fight. But as you can see, easy fight for Corvus, even with physical resistance. Now we go for the third section, final section of map 7, and I'm gonna do the Stardust path. For the most part, I don't like this path because you degen for no reason. However, with Corvus right here, as you can see, I am regen for 218 and degening for 117. So in fact, I am healing on this fight. So basically, Stardust, I believe, the lower the enemy's health is, the more you degen, but for some reason it was the same amount. So now we go into this War Machine. Corvus makes these fights look so easy, but any other champion will have a hard time because this guy starts with some armor ups, and every time you hit him, those armor ups are gonna go up. Not only that, but he's going to get a lot of furies at the end of the fight, and he will get a lot of block penetration if you're running a champion that's going to slow down the fight. But Corvus here converts those armor ups into the armor breaks, and his damage increases by the armor breaks. And the same thing with Howard the Duke over here. Howard the Duke, it starts with a bunch of armor ups, and as soon as I parry him, it's pretty much game over. It's gonna be done in probably 10 hits. So I go over here, you know, yep, that's, yeah, 10 hits. Making my lane look so cake, man. But I took this lane with Namor, and trust me, I died a few times because that block damage from War Machine was insane. So over here I go with 2 charges going against this Groot. So what is going on this thing? So I still have the global host counter strike. When you dex 10 times, the Groot is gonna go unblockable. Second, the global on this thing, or the modifier, I get those two confused, but basically the fight picks a random special that you can throw. Otherwise, if you throw any other special than the one indicated right now, so for example right now is 1. If I throw the L2, it's gonna do 10% damage. It's gonna be reduced humongously. So right here I was trying to stall for a special 2, and for some reason I had it, but it just, my finger didn't click with the special 2, and I missed it. I got hit in the face, and now I'm on an L3. So now I gotta do the L3, and then I gotta wait for my charges again. So yeah, there's a few things you have to be paying attention, you know. Luckily, these my new 6-star Corvus has more health pool, so I am able to take a few hits. But yeah, it's a lot to pay attention. If you see, I'm a Night Fury, so 1 more dex is gonna make him unblockable, and he's gonna go unblockable for about 6 or 8 seconds. And what you have to make sure is that you don't dex too many times when he's unblockable, because otherwise you're gonna trigger his unblockable again. So as you can see, I'm already at 5. So the best thing to do here is trying to get him to block, and you just hit the block so you can stall when he comes back. So right here, as you can see, he's telling me to use L2 now. So right now is the time to use L2 to get the 100% damage, and he is down. Should have been an easier fight, but now is the moment we take an Apocalypse. He has Vigor. I'm not entirely sure how Vigor works, but I think every time you do 25% of damage, he will regen 50% of it, for the damage that you did. I'm not sure how this entirely works, but yeah, I got hit on the face right there. I could have worked for an special 2 and do a ton of damage, but it's the first day and I'm doing just horrible. I don't know how I missed the L2 right there. I usually never do a special 2 right after a 2 hit because the opponent is highly likely to block it. But we got rank 3 Omega already. We're about to end this man's career right here. It's over. That's it. This is where the skills come in. This is it, man. This it's not it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was sort of helpful. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Have a good one. Be safe, and see you. Bye. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Push it. It's down there. It's easy. It helps the channel out. Take care, guys. Bye.